G'day folks, it's Cortezarino here, and we're doing the world tour of my Xbox world. Now, I would change my view so you can see me, but I've forgotten the controls, so this is the best I can manage. I figured we'd start where I started. This is where I spent my first night. As a noob, I probably didn't even have a bed. I probably just sat in here all night waiting for the beasties to go away. But let's not waste too much time here. I've built a little hut just here, just so when I come back from the end and my bed's obstructed and I appear here in the middle of the night, I have somewhere to spend the night. It's just a cute little house. It's the same design as my starter house. But let's head off to civilization, and you can see my iron golem farm over there. So in this world, we're going to see a lot of builds that aren't my own, just ones that I copied off YouTube when I was starting to learn how to build. So this tower up here, I can't remember who designed that, but that's not my design. That belongs to someone else, and as does the iron golem farm. That's another person's design. The cool thing about this house is I'm making a statement here. There is no door. I've put this big wall around it, and I've lit the place up so you can hang out here at night and not have to worry about beasties. My first swimming pool. Pretty proud of this. I used to just come here and take a swim for no reason. So it looks quite good in here. I really like sandstone houses. It's the first time I bothered doing any furniture. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this place. I don't really come here. It was just something I built so I'd be close to my iron golem farm to get some iron coming in. And we can go upstairs, got a little patio. Not a lot to see up here. Oh, there's the main base. That's the biggest build I've ever done. Even on the PC, I haven't done anything that large, but that's my castle. We'll get there. So let's head off to where I spend most of my time, or used to spend most of my time. I never play this anymore. I'm actually surprised my kids haven't been playing this. My little boy loves TNT, so yeah, a lot of things could have been blown up. So here's the castle. We won't visit this just yet because this is base number 2. My original base is underneath the stables right over there. But yeah, like I built this really early and then I never came back to it. So these castle gates, I built this before I really had smooth stone. So before Silk Touch, I built this. And I love that sword in the cliff face there. So that cliff face was already there. I built it up a little bit, but yeah, carved the sword in, and I've got lava coming down behind it so it glows at night time. It's pretty cool. Okay, we'll head this way. Quite like this build. It's the bakery, and I'm forgetting how to jump. And I built a bakery here because my first wheat farm I ever did. So over here. And it's one of the ones where there's a lever up the top and it releases water. And it comes all the way down here and into some hoppers. So let's jump inside. And you have to replant it all once you're done. So yep, here's the little shop front for the bakery. And everything comes down into here. I've just got seeds there because I cleared out all the wheat. This house here was another one copied off YouTube. Just learning how to build houses. This building's kind of cool. It's just a cover-up for some farms I've got around here. Melon farm, you've seen them before. That's someone else's design. So just your normal sugarcane sort of thing, and press the button and let's have a look at how it works. Xbox controls are hard. So it just shakes that, and they all fall down, you have to replant. So originally these two farms were just sitting out here on the grass. I thought, oh gee, I need to cover these up. And so this building worked out alright. And head inside. Yeah, kind of a nice floor. I think I nicked that floor off YouTube as well. And this room I gave to my daughter to decorate. She really wanted to play in my world, so don't know what she's building there, but yeah, good job. She always used to want to play on my world. So I've got another iron golem farm here. And these guys, I can harvest the villagers. So I got a little lever there, and a few of them would drop down into this tube and come along to this big building here. This is really out of proportion. But this was a villager trading center, so I built the machine and then I built the house over the top as a cover-up. But it's, even though it's too big, it's not a bad design. Like, I quite like the way I did the roof. And I think I still tend to do roofs this way. So let's head on in. It's probably a mess in here, yeah, because I've got holes in the floor when I made my new villager trading center. But this was one of those ones that they just flow along in the water and then they drop down. We've got the stables in here. Got quite a few horses. And down there goes to my base. We'll check that out in a minute. Yeah, actually, oh, that's right. I moved my horses underground. See, I originally had mine carts for quick travel. Like, underneath all this area, there's a system of mine carts. But then I realised the horses were faster, so I started building horse tunnels. Now, if you've been watching me on the Diamond Society, you'll have seen that I've started a big treehouse world. And I said I love tree houses, and I built one on my Xbox world. This is it. So it's really cool. I love it. And I think the reason it looks so good is because it has the cool entrance with the bridge and kind of looks castle-y in a way. Let's head over, have a look. So yeah, I think the key to building a good treehouse is to have a cool entrance. So like a bridge over a ravine or something like that. And then a treehouse starts on the ground. So you don't want creepers climbing up. I guess creepers can climb up vines. I'm not sure, but you want to protect the area underneath so that you can then have a pretty secure house up the top. And yeah, it's pretty cool up here. There's not a lot up here, and yeah, I think I said on my Diamond Society episode that there was never any reason to come back up here. My old ideas of decorating, it's terrible. Little bedroom up the top. But I used to love to come up here at night because it was safe and you could just have a look around at all the builds that I've done at night and not have to worry about creepers. Oh, this little building here was my first attempt at using the terrain in a build. So previously I'd probably just flatten out the area. I mean, look at this. This is one of my very first houses. The cobblestone block house. It's awful. Never got around to ripping that down. I don't think I was actually going to rip that down. I wanted to change the build because I get pretty sentimental about my early builds and I don't really want to get rid of them. So yeah, this was my first attempt at using the terrain or incorporating the terrain into a build. So this house doesn't look like much here, but when you come around this side, it was a cave entrance. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this was originally a big mine. This is before that I knew that you could just dig straight down and all the diamonds were really low. I didn't realise it was all down low. I just thought you'd find stuff anywhere. So I did one of those big branch mines all the way down to here. And then I kept the room like this because I thought it looked very Total Recall. And I was using lava as lighting, so I didn't have to keep placing torches. I just dug the lava tunnels, let them drop down, and then I could mine, and the place would be lit up the whole way down. So here's the old base. It was originally based off another design from YouTube, so if you've seen that guy's video, you'll recognise that sort of lighting there. And I just started to rip it out and incorporate my own stuff. So here's a big room that was finished. And originally it was going to be for breeding, so I'd have animals down here, but they kept dying. I don't know why. I think sometimes, yeah, wolves would spawn down here, so I couldn't have sheep in that one. And yeah, but I brought animals down here and I couldn't even get a single pair to breed. Like I killed off all my cows except for 2, brought them down here, and it goes, no, you've reached the limit. So that was pretty useless, but yeah, I think this room looks fantastic. But now I just use this as a place for my horses, so I can ride the horses straight in and I can jump them out of there and I've got a little bouncy thing to get out myself, so that's a cool room. Over here's another cool room. This is the tree farm. I'm never going to do it now, but I sort of need to change the colour of this carpet. It's not real flash. But underneath we've got the mine cart that looks like it's running right now. Switch him off. But it will run, the hopper minecart runs along down the bottom to collect all the saplings, and pretty cool walls, flowing water behind glass, and a whole lot of glowstone. So that was fun. And I think upstairs is pretty much finished. So yeah, this is a really cool room. It's my idea of a super smelter before I knew how to make them really well. The great thing about this room is all the hidden lighting. So I've got lights under the carpet, lights behind the smelter, behind the paintings. There's hidden light everywhere. There's not a single torch here. You can't see torches. And probably my favourite part of the base over here, it's my old potion room. So it's pretty cool. It's first idea I came up with for brewing potions. I wasn't really good at redstone back when I did this, but I'd fill these droppers up with water bottles, so you could press the button and they'd each drop one into the hopper chain, and then I'd have to make sure these were all loaded up with the ingredients I needed. Push that button and spit them into the hopper chain, and they'd come in order there. So I just had one set up for each potion because I couldn't remember the the different recipes. So yeah, I was quite happy with this room. All the ingredients in there. So yep, that's nice and cool. And here we go. Here we are on the top layer of the base. So I got a beacon and just started a bit of a dining room. So you haven't done much here. So when I put the dome in, I still haven't got rid of my scaffolding blocks. This is a finished area. This is a really cool area. So I got the throne room here. As soon as we had the update and we got diorite, I came and put some diorite pillars in here. They look alright, but spent a lot of time on this room. I think it looks pretty good. I love emerald ore. So all the emerald ore I was finding, I was putting in that wall over there. Another big room here. Big room. This is all carved into the hill. I hollowed out the hill and built this inside. So massive super smelter here. I didn't mean to make a big super smelter, but I needed something to put on this wall. So we've got the input here. This will take the coal and the ingredients we're smelting. So that goes into mine carts, and it gets into an item sorter, separates the coal. So the coal goes off in a separate mine cart to refill it, and then the ingredients get poured in. And there's no output chest. It automatically flows into my item sorter, which we'll visit in a moment. Here's a cool little secret tunnel, and that heads down to my base. And that's a way up to the top. Let's go up here. I don't know if this place is properly lit up. I think I had a creeper in here one day. But yeah, here we are on the top level. Pretty nifty chandelier. Oh, and the sword on the outside I repeated on the inside. So we've got the lava lighting the place up. Yeah, I was really proud of this area. Like I said, spent a lot of time on this. And I will probably do something similar, like a big castle on the PC eventually. Not sure when. So let's head down into the base. And I thought I had a button on a wall. Where'd my button go? I know I hit it. I had a button so you could stand up here and... Oh, it is there. Gee, I hid that well. There it is. Okay, this is the top floor of the item sorter. It's just Impulse SV's design. And there's no way out of this room except straight down. But you can see up here I can feed items back into the sorter. So yeah, it's interesting enough. But we'll go down the next level. And this is a very basic item sorter. It's just a hopper chain running along hoppers. So I'll put in the... they're just all the same. Where's a better example? here we go. So I've got the different kinds of quartz in here, and so it'll just take a stack at a time. See, even back then I knew there would be a way of doing an item sorter where you could just have one item in the slot of each hopper, but I didn't have the skills to make it. But if you follow my channel, you'll know now that I've actually designed an item sorter that works in this way, the 5 item per chest. So yeah, even back then I had a feeling there was a way to do it, but I just didn't know how. So I've just got the basic item sorter in. So over here we've got the automatic wheat farm. So I've got a minecart that runs around underneath here, and he harvests the wheat. And I've got it on a hopper timer, so it only runs every few minutes or so. The love shack, this is the villager breeder. I've trapped the villager about 6 blocks above here, these guys, and then he's got the doors have access to light way up above, and they will go up a little a little water elevator and go all the way down there. You see that red door at the end? That's my villager trading center. So we'll come through here. This is a huge farm. Like something this big is what you'd build on a server, I guess, but yeah, it's huge. And if we come down here, let's hope there's no beasties. So this is where the stuff for the farm will come down. So got watermelons in there. What? Pumpkins, so many. Wow, it's a lot bigger than I need. And around this way, what do we got? Oh, I've got another one of my mines that I built. I ended up converting into a mob dropper, and they'll just fall down on these hoppers. Or they just spawn in a dark room, and I get all these goodies. So these minecarts here, one of them will head off to my villager trading center. The other one goes off to my item sorter. So I can just get stuff from these farms, pop them in the minecarts, and send them off to where they need to go. Okay, so here's my villager trading center. And it's much like the one I've got in my PC world. So I've got the guys that I can't see them in this version, but get a villager with this button, kill him with this. Oh, I've got one. Cool. So I can trade with them here, find out what they have, and see if they're worthy of a place in here. Problem with this design of a trading center, I had a spot for every different trade, thinking that, oh yes, I'll want all these guys. And no, I didn't want them. So I just needed a big section for librarians. So see, I've got extra guys there. And it's pretty simple, the design here. They just come, they stay in their minecarts and they float down. And I've got the secure door just in case we get a zombie running around. Down here, bit of an unfinished area. So this is actually, this cobblestone here and this stone is overflow. So if I put in too much stone and it won't go into my item sorter, it'll automatically flow down into here. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then this is just bulk storage. This is output for my item sorter. Anything that didn't fit in there will come to here, and I can manually store them in chests. On one of my episodes I mentioned putting the wither in the roof. This is it. So I didn't know what to do with this room, so I put a big wither in there. This is just a room I made for extra storage if I needed it. So I've got a bit of dirt and netherrack there. Here's my infinite animal breeder. So I've got them breeding over nether portals in the nether, and they'll come out here, and this is how I got around the problem of the breeding limits. So I've got an old sheep farm here, which I'm not sure if it would still work. It could be broken. But another room I never finished, but finally I had sheep. So if you haven't seen my tutorial for the infinite animal breeder, definitely check it out. It's the only way to go if you're playing on the Xbox. Come on, you. And did I pick that up? This is what happens when you get lag on an Xbox world. Look how slow my cursor is moving. That is really annoying. And does this automatically stop, or do I have to jump off? It stops. So I spent a lot of time on this island. When I was first trying to get ender pearls to find the end, This was my strategy for killing endermen. I'd hang out on this little island that was all lit up and I was safe here. And I'd be here at night time, and when I saw an enderman, I'd swim out to him and try and kill him, grab the pearl, and come back to the island before the beasties got me. This was how I got XP. I didn't have a spawner XP farm and didn't have a blaze farm, so I had one of these big mob farms right up in the sky. Spent countless hours here, and this was back before the new style of enchanting, when if you'd enchant something you'd lose 30 levels and you'd have to go and get all your levels again. So if you do build one of these, which I don't recommend, like, just find a spawner, it'd be so much better. But yeah, I've got mobs spawning up there, and because we're so high up, we get quite a few spawning up here. And yep, here they come down. So if you build one, put obsidian around here, because a creeper going off up here is pretty bad. But these are good for getting records. I even had a jukebox up here. I spent so much time up here I'd listen to music. Let's head off to the Nether, I think. Oh, this continues off to a witch farm. There's not much to see there. Oh no, we'll go to the top of the castle before we go into the Nether. So here we are around the top of the castle, and in this room is where I keep the dragon egg. Pretty cool spot for him. I don't really have a Nether hub. I just have a bunch of passages leading off from a central sort of area, and the passages all look like the area that they're going to. So that's obviously the ocean monument. It's my castle, the old base. Uh-oh. I don't have my bow equipped to get this guy, so we're just going to leg it. So I never really finished this. I think this update is what inspired me to play the PC, because I loved having all this new stuff so much that I just wanted to get all the other gear you could get on the PC that wasn't on the Xbox yet. So I not long after building this, I moved over to the PC. I was making this as a monument to the update. So I've built a mesa down there, or all around here, just decorating the place, and I was going to have acacia trees up the top and big bunny farm, but all things I never got around to. But yeah, this was a huge project. This, I don't think I ever want to drain an ocean monument again. Okay, the last thing to look at is the end. And you'll see. Okay, so the problem with the end on the console edition is you cannot build out to the side. So you have to light up everything. And it's we're on a bit of an island here, but you'll see I have half slabbed an immense amount of the end. If you don't, then you just can't get guys to spawn. So here's my little space. So this is built down really, really low. And here are my ender guys. So I do have the the huge old-fashioned enderman farm up there with all the pistons and the pressure plates. And then once we got the update and we had endermites, I just put an endermite platform on top of that. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little area, I guess. I've got hoppers underneath these guys, so most of the pearls will get collected and fill into the chests here. But yeah, to get this many guys spawning took a long time. I had to do so much on the end. So how do I get out of here? That one. And do I have a button, or do I just push forwards? I think I just push forwards. And here we are up the top, so you'll still see endermen spawning like there, but I've started. Look at all this half slabbing. I found the torches just didn't seem to do the trick. I torched everywhere and they were still spawning, so I went on a huge half slabbing mission. And you can't see it so much up the top here, but around the the edges of the end, everything has been half slabbed, like underneath and around the edges. And I don't want to fall off, but yeah, have a look at this. Absolutely everything around the entire island. Look at all of that. Took so long. Oh yeah, and this is what the original farm looked like. This took a long time to build, the old farm with the pistons, and I was constantly running out of iron. But I quite enjoyed building it, unlike draining the ocean monument, which was torture. This was fun to do. So heaps of platforms, and this goes all the way down. It's huge, and I built it in a square, so I've got them all around the outsides, and then even more platforms in the middle, and then just down the bottom they'd all get funneled into a single passage, and then way up the top I've got a flat area with my endermite. Anyway, don't look at him. Okay, that is about it. A lot of the stuff on this world is old and outdated, and there's a lot of noob stuff in there, but I'm pretty happy with my castle. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'm Cortezarino. See you later.